A story begins with our hero, Naofumi, a ugly and disgusting loser who lives in a completely normal world. Nothing special about him at all. He isn't good at studies. He isn't good at any other work. The only thing he truly enjoys is playing in games. And his life was passing like this until one day he is suddenly teleported without his permission to another world. And when he arrives there, he learns that he isn't the only one who has been summoned. 3 more boys have been teleported from 3 different worlds, and their names were Itsuki, Ren, and Motoyasu. And just like Naofumi, they also received different powers. Naofumi is actually the shield hero, and what that means, we will learn later in the story. Here the king tells them that monsters have attacked their world, and to stop and defeat those monsters, he used a forbidden technique to summon the 4 heroes. The king had already gathered all the strong warriors of the kingdom and told them that they could choose whichever hero they wanted to join. So everyone chose their own hero. But we see that no one picked Naofumi until suddenly a beautiful girl named Mine chooses him. Now all 4 heroes are given money so they can buy equipment and weapons to become stronger. And although the other 3 boys get equal coins, Naofumi receives the most because he has only 1 team member. Naofumi leaves with Mine and sees that he only has a shield which cannot attack anyone, but he can absorb many things into it. So he goes outside and kills many slimes, absorbing them into the shield. Mine tells him they can go buy armor from the armorer, so Naofumi immediately goes with her. When they arrive, Naofumi tries to check out weapons, but none of the weapons are accepted by his shield. The shield rejects every weapon. So Mine tells him to buy cheap armor, while she herself chooses an extremely expensive armor and tells him not to worry. She will repay him in another way. Naofumi agrees because she is his team member and will need it too. After that, they go to an expensive restaurant to eat, and Mine says she wants to give Naofumi a gift, but he blushes and leaves. When he gets to his room, he sees that out of all the coins given by the king, he has only 200 coins left, so he hides them inside his shield and sleeps. The next morning when he wakes up, he sees that all the important things in his room are missing, shocked. And when he steps outside, the guards immediately grab him and drag him to the king. The guards all look furious, and Naofumi has no idea what is happening when Mine and Motoyasu enter. Mine hides behind Motoyasu, who is the spear hero, and claims that last night Naofumi tried to do something wrong to her. Hearing this, Naofumi is shocked because he knows Mine is lying, but he cannot prove it. And now he understands that Mine only joined his team so she could steal all the coins he received. This makes Naofumi furious, while Motoyasu says Naofumi should be killed. But Naofumi angrily tells them he wants to return to his world because he doesn't want to stay here. Yet the king tells him that he cannot return until all 4 heroes are dead. Naofumi reluctantly accepts this, and before leaving, he throws all the remaining coins in front of Mine. Motoyasu gets angry and steps forward to attack, but Naofumi leaves before he can do anything. A mysterious man secretly watches everything. Naofumi comes outside, but now the entire kingdom treats him badly. No one talks to him, not even the blacksmith who earlier helped him choose weapons. He grabs Naofumi angrily, saying no boy should treat a girl like that. But when he looks into Naofumi's eyes, he sees the truth and releases him, even giving him an armor to wear. Since Naofumi has no money, the blacksmith says it's fine, he can pay later. Naofumi leaves and reaches the big forest again, where he finds many slimes and kills them, leveling up and increasing his shield to level 2, and after killing several slimes, he collects their skin. He returns to the village and sells the slime skin to a merchant who knows Naofumi doesn't have much knowledge, so he offers him only a single bronze coin. Naofumi knew the slime skins were worth more, so he traps the seller inside his rope and tells him that he can sell these for a much higher price to any adventurer. And since his rope is filled with many slimes, the seller gets scared and agrees to pay him more, after which Naofumi goes to the blacksmith and gives him 5 coins, and then he leaves again. When he returns to the forest, he starts feeling hungry and sees some medicinal herbs, and when he absorbs them into his shield, he gets high-quality medicines, so he immediately takes them to a seller who makes potions, and that seller likes them a lot, giving Naofumi a good price. From there, Naofumi goes to a restaurant, buys the cheapest food and eats, but when he is returning, 3 boys corner him in the street and demand his money, yet he fights them and defeats them using only his shield, though Naofumi knows very well that he cannot fight monsters forever with only a shield, nor can he stop the upcoming waves. So he becomes worried, but suddenly a man sees him and approaches him, saying that he can help him, and then takes Naofumi with him, telling him that if he wants, he can buy a slave. Naofumi is shocked to hear this, and the merchant begins showing him many slaves. And among them, Naofumi notices a demi-human girl whom the merchant explains is sick physically and mentally, and therefore she is the cheapest slave they have. And if Naofumi wants, he can buy her for just 30 coins. So Naofumi agrees and immediately purchases her. After that, he asks the girl her name, and the frightened demi-human softly says her name is Raftalia. Naofumi takes her with him straight to the blacksmith and and asks for a weapon that Raphtalia can use. She holds the weapon but still trembles in fear, so Naofumi pulls a slime from his clothes and tells Raphtalia to attack it, but she is too scared and refuses. So Naofumi gives her a direct order, and when she still doesn't obey, the cursed seal placed on her chest by the merchant under Naofumi's name suddenly activates, forcing Raphtalia to obey him, and the moment she strikes the slime, it dies, giving her some XP points, which will help increase her level later. After this, both of them go to a restaurant again, where Naofumi buys the cheapest food for himself, but buys the same food for Raphtalia that the children sitting nearby are eating, surprising Raphtalia, and she asks if she can really eat such nice food, and Naofumi says yes, and after eating, she becomes extremely happy. Naofumi tells her that just because he purchased her doesn't mean he will treat her like a servant. He only needs her help, and she must become his sword because he has only a shield and cannot use any weapon. Afterward, they return to the place where Naofumi finds many slimes and kills some of them, while making Raphtalia do the same, slowly raising both their levels. At night, Raphtalia asks Naofumi who he is, and he tells her he is the shield hero, shocking Raphtalia twice because she remembers her parents once told her that the shield hero is very kind, the only one who treats demi-humans well. Here we learn that many shield heroes have appeared before Naofumi, since 4 heroes have been summoned in the past. Afterward, Raphtalia falls asleep and suddenly has a nightmare in which her parents are running while carrying her, and behind them a 3-headed demon dog is chasing them, and to save her they throw her into a valley while they themselves are killed, terrifying Raphtalia so much that she wakes up panicking, and Naofumi calms her down. We see they continue collecting herbs from the forest, anything that can be made into medicine, and Naofumi always sells them to the medicine seller. One day, Raphtalia sits outside watching some kids playing with a ball, and when Naofumi comes out, he asks if she wants a ball too, but Raphtalia lies and says no, even though her tail is wagging, so Naofumi understands and later buys her a ball. After that, Naofumi continues selling herbs and earning money, using some of it to buy medicine for Raphtalia because she is still sick and slowly recovering. Then he goes again to the blacksmith and asks for a good weapon for Raphtalia, and the blacksmith gives them a large sword, not too large but perfect for her future battles. Then when they go deeper into the forest, they encounter a poisonous rabbit which bites Naofumi's hand, and he tells Raphtalia to kill it, but she refuses because the rabbit looks cute. So Naofumi explains that if she keeps getting scared and forgiving cute things, she will never become strong, and if she doesn't become strong, then Naofumi will not need her because he wants to stop the coming waves and he needs her help. And hearing this, Raphtalia immediately rushes forward and kills the rabbit, saying she is ready to do anything as long as he doesn't abandon her. After this, Naofumi returns to the blacksmith and asks if there is any nearby village where they can earn money, and the smith tells him the direction. Naofumi goes to that village and sells the rabbit skin to a seller there, asking him where he can make more money, and the seller tells him about a tunnel filled with orb-like monsters whose skins he can sell for good profit. Naofumi agrees and prepares to go there, but before leaving, he checks his shield status system and learns that he has finally gathered enough XP to increase his level, and when he levels up, his shield completely changes. The shield's power increased even more, and when Naofumi tried using it, a huge spiritual giant shield appeared in front of him, and he was very impressed but pretended that it didn't affect him much. And after that, Naofumi and Raphtalia immediately headed toward the tunnel. When they entered, Raphtalia asked Naofumi what she should call him, and Naofumi said it doesn't matter. She can call him whatever she wants. Suddenly, a 2-headed demon dog appeared in front of them, and Raphtalia was terrified. So she grabbed Naofumi and tried to run away, but they had to face the dog eventually. Raphtalia then tells Naofumi everything, that the 3-headed demon dog killed her parents. So Naofumi says this is the perfect chance for her to take revenge, but she is still scared, and Naofumi rushes to attack first, blocking one head, but the other bites into his shoulder. And seeing this, Naofumi calls Raphtalia for help, but she is too frightened to move. Naofumi activates the curse power, yet she still refuses to obey, so he tells her fine, she can run away, because if he dies, the curse will break, and she will finally be free. But Raphtalia doesn't want that, because she has begun to like Naofumi, and from the very beginning, Naofumi protected her and even fed her, so she immediately grabs her new knife, her sword, and rushes forward to strike the demon dog's second head. But it doesn't injure the dog much, and it throws her far away, and now it charges toward Raphtalia in rage. But before it reaches her, Naofumi throws up his spiritual shield, which the demon dog crashes into, giving Raphtalia the opening to run forward and stab the demon dog straight in the heart, killing it on the spot. She is both extremely happy and extremely terrified, and she instantly runs to Naofumi and hugs him tightly. Naofumi tells her that earlier she asked what she should call him, so she can just call him by his name. After that, they continue training and killing monsters the same way for about 2 weeks, during which Naofumi keeps absorbing monsters monster parts to make his shield even more powerful. And Raftalia keeps fighting monsters as well, raising her level until she becomes much stronger than before. And suddenly her age increases too, shocking Naofumi because he cannot understand how that happened. Afterward, they return to the village where Naofumi meets the blacksmith and asks him about the next wave's location. And the blacksmith explains that inside the kingdom, there is a registry tower where all heroes register. And whenever a wave is about to appear, they are teleported to that location where they meet all the other heroes. All the heroes mock Naofumi there, especially Motoyasu, which makes Naofumi angry, but he ignores them and returns. At night, Raftalia tells Naofumi she will never betray him, but Naofumi already knows that. Some more time passes, and Raftalia's hourglass timer slowly reaches the second block, which means the wave time has come, and all 4 heroes along with their team members are teleported outside the village where the wave is about to strike. When the first wave starts, countless beasts and monsters attack the village, and the 3 main characters fight the monsters, while Naofumi also fights, but at the same time saves the villagers. And the villagers are happy because someone is protecting them since the other 3 heroes are not saving anyone. After some time, reinforcements arrive. Many kingdom soldiers come, but the moment they arrive, they cast a fire magic spell that rains giant fireballs over the village, killing monsters but also harming the villagers. Yet Naofumi and Raftalia save as many people as they can. Raftalia gets angry and tries to attack a soldier, but the vice captain stops her. We see that the soldiers are mainly helping only the 3 main heroes and ignoring Naofumi entirely. But Naofumi does not care much. Eventually, they defeat all the beasts and monsters and clear the wave, and the villagers thank only Naofumi, even though he couldn't save the entire village. Because compared to previous waves where everything was destroyed, this time most villagers survived. Raftalia is sad, saying she wishes they could have saved her village like this too. But Naofumi comes to her side. Later, since they cleared the wave, there is a celebration in the kingdom, but the king focuses only on the other 3 main heroes and completely ignores Naofumi. Raftalia brings food for Naofumi, but he refuses, so she tries to feed him herself, and things were going well between them when suddenly Motoyasu arrives, brought there by Mine, because Mine told him that Naofumi has another girl trapped with him, and maybe she doesn't know Naofumi's real nature, so they must free her. Motoyasu tells Naofumi to fight him, but Naofumi refuses immediately, so Motoyasu says if he wins, Naofumi must free Raftalia. And when Naofumi asks what happens if he wins, Motoyasu arrogantly says that if Naofumi wins, he can keep Raftalia with him. Naofumi hates this deal and tries to leave, but the king's soldiers grab Raftalia and force Naofumi to fight. Inside the arena, many kingdom people gather to watch, and Naofumi and Motoyasu begin fighting. Everyone knows Naofumi is the shield hero who cannot use weapons, while Motoyasu is the spear hero with a natural advantage. As the fight starts, Naofumi uses every shield type he unlocked during his adventures, causing problems for Motoyasu and shocking the entire crowd because the shield hero is actually powerful. Motoyasu then tries using his full power, and at that moment Naofumi unlocks the demon dog shield he gained from the 2-headed demon dog. Naofumi had unlocked this demon dog shield using the dog's blood, and the moment he activated it, a cage formed around Motoyasu filled with many slimes that began biting him from all sides, causing him pain, and Motoyasu quickly began losing. But at that very moment, Mine attacked secretly from behind, and because of her interference, Naofumi fell down. And Motoyasu took advantage of it and struck Naofumi, defeating him, and Motoyasu was declared the winner. Naofumi kept saying that Mine helped Motoyasu and that they cheated, but no one paid attention. And although many people were sitting around, nobody spoke in Naofumi's favor, making him think everyone here is blind. Naofumi felt horrible, and the king announced Motoyasu as the winner and called him close. And at that moment, Naofumi learns that Mine is actually the king's daughter, the princess of the kingdom, and everything becomes clear to him why all of this was happening to him from the beginning. Because the king hates the shield hero, so he intentionally sent his daughter into Naofumi's team so she could trap him and destroy his reputation in front of everyone. And that is why people hate Naofumi now. But Naofumi wonders that if the king hated the shield hero so much, then why did he summon him in the first place? And even though Naofumi has done nothing wrong, why does the king hate him? He is burning with anger, and he sees a general using a special liquid to remove the curse seal from Raftalia's chest, and the curse disappears. But Naofumi doesn't care if the curse stays or not. He only cares why everyone treats him like this, even though he just saved an entire village. He becomes so angry that inside he feels like killing everyone around him. And because of that feeling, a mysterious power inside his shield, known as the Curse Series, activates. At that same moment, Raftalia stabs Motoyasu with a sharp blow and tells him who asked him to save her because she never did. And Motoyasu is shocked. Then Mine steps forward toward Raftalia, raising her hand to slap her. But Ren and Itsuki arrive and stop her. her, telling Motoyasu the truth, that he had already lost the match and Mine secretly helped him. Mine denies everything and says they are mistaken, and the crowd says nothing because they fear the king. Raphtalia runs to Naofumi and says that even if the curse has been removed, she is still his sword, and she will continue to help him fight monsters and clear waves. But Naofumi tells her to be quiet, saying he is a terrible person and now that her curse is gone, she should leave him. But Raphtalia comes close while Naofumi is lost in his emotions in a dark place inside his mind. And she tells him that Mine said bad things about Naofumi, but she doesn't believe them. And Naofumi says he is terrible and takes out his shield, saying it's useless. But Raphtalia tells him he is wrong, that his shield is far more powerful than he thinks, and because of it, he saved the village. Naofumi says he didn't want to save anyone, it just happened on its own. But Raphtalia hugs him and tells him he is listening to others too much, and she understands him more than he understands himself. These words finally reach Naofumi, and his emotions calm down. And when he opens his eyes, he realizes Raphtalia has grown older, and he is shocked because he did not notice it before. Meanwhile, Motoyasu watches them and thinks Raphtalia must still be under some spell, so he thinks he should free her. But Ren and Itsuki tell him he is either blind or the biggest fool in the world for not seeing the truth. The next morning, Naofumi asks Raphtalia about how her age increased so fast and how he didn't notice it, and Raphtalia explains that demi-humans age 4 times faster than humans, which is normal for their clan. That same day, the king summons all 4 heroes to reward them for clearing the first wave, giving Motoyasu 4,000 coins and giving Ren and Itsuki 3,000 coins each. But when Naofumi's turn comes, the king gives him only 500 coins and then refuses even that, saying Naofumi lost to Motoyasu, so he deserves nothing. Naofumi becomes furious, and Ren and Itsuki say Naofumi did not lose and Mine cheated, but Mine denies it, and the king, being her father, also refuses to believe it, saying these are useless excuses and that everyone saw Naofumi lose. Naofumi becomes extremely angry and tries to step forward, but Raphtalia stops him and tells him to leave, and he listens and they walk away. Afterward, they return to the same mysterious merchant who sold Raphtalia, and Naofumi asks him to put the curse mark on Raphtalia again because he needs to see her stats and level in his status screen. The merchant recreates the mark, and then Naofumi and Raphtalia notice some special eggs placed nearby, and Naofumi asks about them, and Raphtalia explains these are not normal eggs. These eggs hatch into the bird creatures used in the kingdom to carry goods. Naofumi has seen those birds before, so he decides to buy one. In the next scene, Naofumi arrives at a medicine shop where he buys a book containing information on herbs, and the shop owner gives it for free because his relative lived in the village Naofumi saved, and he knows the shield hero protected them. But when Naofumi reads the book, he cannot understand it because it's written in another language. As he leaves, an old lady gives him a grimoire, saying her relative also lived in that same village, and this grimoire could help Naofumi increase his power because it contains many magic spells. So he thanks her and takes it, but later realizes he cannot use it because it is in the same unknown language. Raphtalia tells him they can learn the language together since they have plenty of time before the next wave. So Naofumi decides to learn it, and they stay in the kingdom for the night. The next morning, the egg he purchased begins to crack and a dragon-type bird hatches from it, extremely cute, and Naofumi names it Philo, and its size grows rapidly, becoming several times bigger in just 1 week, making Naofumi very happy because now it can help them. Naofumi and Raphtalia had not yet left the village when another hero arrives. It is Motoyasu again, and Mine is also with him, and they announce to the villagers that by the king's order, Motoyasu is now their new lord, like the king of the village, and he will make all decisions. The villagers don't mind, but Mine declares that to develop the village, they are imposing taxes. Anyone who enters or leaves the village must pay tax, and villagers must also pay high taxes while living there. The villagers become angry because they barely have enough food to survive, but Mine refuses to listen. Naofumi opposes this, but suddenly a few more people arrive, and Mine grabs the scroll angrily and challenges Naofumi, saying they will have a race and whoever wins will take control of the village. All the villagers beg Naofumi to race, but he is not interested at all, though Philo is extremely excited, so Naofumi is forced to accept and the race begins, during which Naofumi and Philo quickly take the lead, angering Mine, who orders her soldiers to use magic spells. Her soldiers create multiple spells, such as forming a huge hole, causing Philo and Naofumi to fall in, but Philo stands up with even more determination and begins overtaking Motoyasu again. Seeing this, Mine's soldiers try slowing down Naofumi's speed and boosting Motoyasu's speed, but even that doesn't work because Naofumao and Philo refuse to give up. Naofumi creates spiritual shields over the holes using his shield powers, preventing them from falling again, and in the end Naofumi wins. Mine and Motoyasu are shocked, but Mine accuses him of cheating because because Philo's size suddenly doubled when he won, claiming Naofumi must have used a spell. But the mysterious man who earlier gave Mine the scroll steps forward and says magic was indeed used. But Naofumi only used supportive and healing magic, while the cheaters were Mine and Motoyasu, and Mine realizes she can't say anything now, so she angrily declares they don't even want this village since it's useless, and she and Motoyasu leave. The villagers thank Naofumi Bishimi, but he says since he saved their village, he deserves a reward. The villagers say they don't have enough money to give him anything, so Naofumi says he doesn't want money, and while thinking what they can give him, Philo notices a buggy she likes and demands it, so the villagers give them the buggy. They leave the village, and on the road Naofumi thinks that since he has the hero token, he can travel to any village without paying the entry fee, and since other villagers must pay fees, he can use the buggy to take people from village to village and earn money. Suddenly, Raphtalia falls sick because she is not used to riding in the buggy for the first time, and since it's almost night, they decide to stop in the forest to rest. Naofumi is sleeping when Philo comes to him, and the next morning he wakes up shocked to see a small girl sleeping next to him, but soon realizes the girl is actually Philo. Afterward, they go to the blacksmith to get clothes for Philo because whenever she changes forms, her clothes tear. The blacksmith is confused until Philo transforms into her bird form, and they explain that the merchant told them Philo belongs to a special bird species that can also take human form, and the merchant also cast a spell connecting her to Naofumi, just like Raphtalia. The blacksmith says he cannot make magical clothes, so he sends them to another tailor. The tailor girl says she can make the clothes but needs magical thread, so they go to another shop, where the lady says she doesn't have magical thread yet, but will have it in a few days, so they must wait. Naofumi cannot stay that long in this village, so he says they will return later, and they leave. On the way, they meet a man running urgently to his village, so Naofumi offers him a ride in exchange for a coin, but the man says he has no money, and his mother is extremely sick, so Naofumi tells him he can pay with food later and takes him along, leaving the buggy behind for higher speed, riding directly on Philo. Guards stop them at the village gate, but Naofumi shows his hero token and they let him pass. Naofumi reaches the man's house where the medicine is weak, so he refines it with his shield, increasing its power many times, and the man's mother immediately recovers, shocking him. When Naofumi leaves, the man gives him fruits and vegetables, and though he asks what spell Naofumi used, Naofumi says nothing and leaves. Naofumi starts earning money by transporting villagers safely, and one day a merchant boards his vehicle, praising Naofumi because he heard good things about him. Suddenly, bandits stop them, demanding everything they have, but Naofumi steps forward to fight, though Raphtalia jumps ahead, and before even she finishes, Philo uses a tornado spell to defeat all the bandits, who are then tied up. Naofumi wonders what to do with them, and the merchant suggests handing them over to local soldiers for punishment, which Naofumi agrees is right. But the bandits laugh, saying they will easily escape because Naofumi's reputation is bad and nobody sees him as a hero. Angered, Naofumi changes his plan, and in the next scene they raid the bandits' hideout and take back all the treasure stolen from villagers. Raphtalia says they are stealing from thieves, while the merchant says Naofumi is doing the right thing. Naofumi then tells the merchant that his nice words are annoying, and since Naofumi saved him from the bandits, he must pay extra. The merchant says not to worry, he will give something more valuable than coins, his knowledge, and takes Naofumi to his home, teaching him about gemstones and how to refine them. The merchant also gives Naofumi news. Motoyasu recently saved a new village suffering from starvation because crops wouldn't grow, and he found a magical crop that grows in any season. But Naofumi knows this is a lie since Mine is a princess, so the king must have given her that crop and credited Motoyasu to make him look like a hero. Then he learns Ren is fighting dangerous monsters to become strong for the next wave, and Itsuki has suddenly disappeared, last seen entering a mysterious dungeon with powerful monsters, and no news came after that. This information is enough for Naofumi. He thanks the merchant, who then gives him a letter to visit a nearby mine where his friend can provide gemstones. Naofumi goes there and meets the man, who says they are still mining and Naofumi can take any gem he wants for free. Next, we see Naofumi bringing the lady who sells magical thread so she can identify the gem needed to make magical thread. They enter the mine and see an empty box, but Philo points in another direction and they follow it. After walking deeper, Philo gets scared, but Naofumi continues and they find many gemstones. However, a dangerous monster is sleeping nearby. They try not to wake it, but it wakes up and attacks. Raphtalia and Philo both attack, but it has no effect. Even the old lady uses fire spells, but they do nothing. The beast attacks Naofumi, but he blocks it with his shield. Raphtalia sneaks behind the beast to attack, but the beast hears even the faintest sounds and blocks her attack, injuring her. Naofumi realizes the beast has extremely sensitive hearing, so he uses a new skill that creates a dense sound sound wave the beast cannot tolerate, killing it instantly. They finally obtain the crystal, after which Philo refines it and begins creating threads using her mana so the clothes will stay connected to her energy. After some time, she successfully creates the threads. They return to the tailor lady, who quickly makes the magical clothes, and Philo likes them. Naofumi is happy because now he won't need to spend more money. They continue their journey, but the merchant gives Naofumi a task. He gives him many medicines and sends him to a village where a demon tree has attacked. The tree's core is a strange seed, and many adventurers have already gone to stop it but never returned. Naofumi first sends Philo to rescue the trapped adventurers, and when Philo asks why they even went there if they couldn't defeat the tree, the villagers realize Naofumi is the shield hero they heard about and beg him to save them because this tree is destroying their village. More and more people in the village were falling sick, so Naofumi first gave them the medicine he had brought, but he refined it before giving it so it worked much better. And after that, the villagers were about to give him a good amount of money to defeat the demon tree. Because of this, he goes to the demon tree's core, and although the tree was dangerous, Naofumi gets an idea during the fight and pours the same refined medicine directly on the demon tree's core point, causing the tree to instantly dry up. And to make sure it doesn't cause destruction again in the future, they pluck its fruits since they may contain more seeds. And Naofumi refines them too and tries selling them to the villagers. But the villagers are scared, so they refuse to buy anything. Now that the threat over the village is gone, Naofumi decides to leave, and he receives another task from the merchant man, which requires him to go to another place where there is a hot spring. And after reaching there, he completes the task first, and then they all decide to stay for a while. While staying there, Raphtalia starts feeling a little jealous of Philo because Philo spends a lot more time with Naofumi, and their bond is getting stronger. And even though Raphtalia shouldn't feel jealous, she still does. So she decides to do something for Naofumi. She hears from some people about a special type of metal that is extremely rare, and she also learns that nearby there is a bird's nest where they might find that metal. So at night, Raphtalia immediately goes there. But halfway, she realizes that Philo is following her because Philo also wants to give the same metal to Naofumi. Raphtalia does not want this at all, but she also cannot send Philo back. So both continue moving forward, and at one point Philo almost falls into a pit by mistake, but Raphtalia saves her, and when they reach the bird, suddenly a rhino monster-type beast appears and destroys the bird's nest completely, meaning they cannot get the metal anymore. So they defeat the beast instead, bring its body back and sell it, and in return they receive a different hammer that Naofumi can use later to easily craft his equipment. So Raphtalia gifts that hammer to Naofumi. For their next task, they must go to another village to deliver many medicines. And when they reach the village, they learn that everyone is extremely sick. People become very happy seeing Naofumi because they recognize him as the one who recently saved another village from a similar dangerous illness. And Naofumi gives them refined medicine, but charges a little extra. After this, he learns that the real cause of the illness is a dragon that recently appeared near the village, and its poisonous gas is spreading everywhere, making the villagers sick. And no matter how much medicine Naofumi gives, the illness can't be cured permanently unless the dragon is killed. So he decides to go there. When he reaches the dragon, he fights it and defeats it easily at first, but the dragon regenerates its entire body, and Naofumi realizes killing this dragon won't be easy, and since they came without any plan, he decides they should retreat. But Philo continues fighting and attacks the dragon very hard, yet the dragon throws her far away. Naofumi tells Philo they should leave, and Philo agrees, but suddenly the dragon rushes forward and swallows Philo whole. Naofumi and Raphtalia are shocked. Naofumi becomes extremely angry, and because of this anger, all the painful memories he has suffered since arriving in this world flood his mind, activating his curse series again, and we see his power awakening. Every skill inside his shield turns into dark circles, increasing his power rapidly while he slowly loses control. He starts walking forward, but Raphtalia tries to stop him, and suddenly a burst of energy erupts from him, pushing Raphtalia away, and then the dragon stomps on Naofumi, and Raphtalia thinks Naofumi couldn't survive. But Naofumi had already blocked the dragon's foot with his power. His power keeps increasing, but at that moment the dragon releases its poisonous gas, causing poison to spread inside Raphtalia's body, and she collapses. Naofumi is shocked and pushes the dragon aside, rushing to Raphtalia's sea, but she is unconscious because of the poison, and the dragon prepares to attack again. But suddenly the dragon screams and collapses dead, shocking Naofumi, and when he looks around, he sees Raphtalia falling again. He lifts her and tries healing her, but his healing is not working well. At that moment, Philo bursts out of the dragon's belly and says she destroyed the dragon's core, which was actually a crystal. So the dragon died from within. Naofumi asks her where the crystal is, and Philo says it is in her stomach. She accidentally ate it. Naofumi ignores this and immediately burns the dragon's body, then takes Raphtalia back to the village. village, where he announces that the dragon has been killed, making the villagers very happy, and they give him a good amount of money. But Naofumi tells them to use this money for Raftalia's treatment. The doctors say they cannot cure Raftalia because they do not know the proper treatment for this kind of poison. Naofumi says fine, and he knows that if he refines medicine and gives it to her, she may slowly recover. So he takes the money and prepares to leave. Later, we see Philo gives Naofumi a crystal she found inside the dragon's body. Naofumi absorbs the crystal into his shield for his new power, but then he remembers that when he used the curse series earlier, it was the reason Raftalia got damaged, because if he hadn't used it and had remained fully conscious, he could have saved her from the poison. So he starts apologizing to Raftalia, and later, while they are walking through the forest, they meet a girl who looks like a child, but Naofumi understands from one glance that she belongs to a noble family. Her name is Melty, and she becomes extremely happy after seeing Philo because she wanted to meet a bird of Philo's species, and she is even more excited when she learns that Philo can talk. When Philo transforms into her normal human form, Melty becomes even happier. After this, they return to the village and give the remaining people their medicines, and then they prepare to leave. And Melty also joins them because at night, she requested Naofumi to drop her back to the kingdom since she is actually the king's second daughter, which shocks Naofumi, and he doesn't want it to agree. But Melty promises to pay him a good amount of money, so Naofumi accepts, and they all start traveling toward the kingdom. On the way, Naofumi notices that Raftalia's condition is still bad, and the poison's effect hasn't ended yet. And after reaching the kingdom, he sends Philo with Melty toward the palace, so Melty can fulfill her promise of paying him, and also so that Naofumi won't come into anyone's sight. After Philo and Melty leave, Naofumi takes Raftalia to a church, and when he reaches the entrance, he notices that the three main heroes have symbols above the towers, but the shield symbol is missing, which angers him slightly, but he still goes inside and demands holy water, because holy water is the only thing that can remove curses. And the dragon's poison had merged into Raftalia's body like a curse, so they need holy water. The priests say they will give holy water, but it will cost 1 gold coin, and Naofumi is ready to pay immediately, but Raftalia tries to stop him because gold coins are extremely valuable. Yet Naofumi doesn't listen. The priest brings a bottle of holy water, but Naofumi's shield already shows him that it is fake and useless. So he tells them to bring the real holy water or it will not be good for them, and then the priests bring the real bottle, which Naofumi confirms and takes outside. After coming out, a kingdom soldier starts following Naofumi, and Naofumi thinks he is about to get dragged into another problem, which will waste his time. So he runs with Raftalia, and to avoid trouble, they both split and take different paths. After running some distance, Naofumi becomes exhausted and stops for 2 minutes. But at that moment, Motoyasu suddenly attacks him, and Naofumi first thinks Motoyasu has gone mad. But Motoyasu shouts that he will not let Naofumi enslave another girl, and Naofumi is confused until he realizes Motoyasu is talking about Philo. Naofumi tries to explain, but Motoyasu keeps attacking, destroying some nearby shops. And while some shopkeepers beg him to stop, some other shopkeepers are cheering happily, saying he is hitting exactly the right target, and soon those shopkeepers begin fighting each other. Motoyasu prepares to attack again, but the same soldier who was following Naofumi arrives and tells Motoyasu to stop, and just then Malty and her companions arrive and surround Naofumi, saying he must fight Motoyasu again in another duel. Naofumi thinks this is madness because every time he comes here, they force him to fight Motoyasu. But at that moment, Melty, Raftalia, and Philo also arrive, and Melty orders everyone to stop, and Naofumi learns that Melty is the second princess, which is why he doesn't have to fight. In the next scene, Naofumi arrives at the blacksmith with Melty, Raftalia, and Philo, and Naofumi asks Melty who she really is. So she explains in detail that she is the king's second daughter, the princess, and then Melty says she has something important to tell Naofumi, but Naofumi refuses to trust her because of the king's behavior, which hurts Melty, and then another soldier arrives saying the king is calling Melty, so she leaves. Meanwhile, when Melty returns after meeting her father, we see her mother, who actually sent Melty to stop Malty from forcing another duel between Naofumi and Motoyasu. And although Melty succeeded in stopping the duel, she couldn't deliver her mother's secret message to Naofumi, so she is feeling sad. And Philo is also sad because Melty had become her good friend. And Naofumi pushed Melty away only because of the king and Malty's behavior. Naofumi doesn't care much, so Philo gets angry and walks away. And a little while later, many guards arrive along with some demi-humans who request Naofumi to take them into his team for the next wave because they do not want to help the other heroes. Having seen their reactions during the previous wave, they only believe in fighting and want nothing to do with the others. Naofumi accepts but demands 150 coins, and they agree, saying they will pay when they collect the coins, and Naofumi tells them to go. After they leave, Naofumi upgrades some armor and weapons for himself and Raftalia up at the blacksmith, and then he asks the blacksmith about the stars appearing beside Raftalia's name on his system screen. And the blacksmith explains that those stars represent class upgrades, meaning Raftalia has reached a level where she can upgrade her class, which surprises Naofumi because he didn't know about it. And he also learns that Raftalia and Philo haven't leveled up recently because they haven't done class upgrades yet. After class upgrade, they can increase their level much more, so they must go inside the city tower. But when Naofumi asks for class upgrades, the people there agree at first, but then a lady arrives saying Naofumi is banned from the tower and cannot get class upgrade permission, which angers him, but he leaves and goes straight to the merchant from whom he bought the egg that hatched into Philo. He asks the merchant how he upgrades his slaves' classes, and since the merchant has now become very famous for giving Naofumi such a powerful demi-human, he explains everything openly, saying he gets class upgrades done from other cities and lists 3 or 4 cities where it can be done. And when Naofumi checks the map, he realizes those cities are very far away and the next wave is coming very soon. So he cannot travel that far, and this means they cannot level up for now. The merchant then gives a special device for Philo to wear on her legs, which increases her speed and attack power. And because Philo is not used to it, they fight a few monsters so Philo can learn how to use it. After that, Naofumi returns to the blacksmith and is about to leave to prepare for the next wave when all the soldiers and the demi-humans arrive, having collected all the coins Naofumi asked for. So Naofumi gives them some items that will help them during the wave, and they officially join Naofumi's team, appearing on his shield system. Now Naofumi needs a plan to clear the wave, so he organizes a meeting, and later while eating in a restaurant, he suddenly meets Ren and Itsuki, who are shocked to see him, and Naofumi is also surprised. Itsuki is angry because he thinks Naofumi stole some of their tasks, but Naofumi explains that he didn't steal anything and that the mistakes were theirs. He tells them the first mistake, when he visited a village where people were under heavy taxes and couldn't even afford food because Itsuki caused so much destruction while solving their problem that recovery became too expensive. Naofumi had to fix it. Second, Ren killed a monster beast, but its poison spread through the village and caused a deadly illness. And again, Naofumi solved it. He tells them that if they want to help people, they should do it in a way that doesn't create even bigger problems. After saying this, Naofumi leaves, and they all return to the blacksmith where Naofumi buys a bracelet for Raftalia that strengthens her magic abilities. Philo feels jealous because she didn't get any gift, so Naofumi gives her a hair clip that increases her physical strength, making her very happy. At that moment, all the soldiers who join Naofumi arrive. Because the wave is about to start, a countdown begins, and everyone gets teleported to the location where the wave is already active. After arriving, they see goblins and monsters attacking villagers, so they rush forward to save them and send them to safety. And after fighting for several hours, Naofumi notices that none of the other heroes are here and wonders if they haven't arrived at all. Suddenly, an old lady appears and easily defeats the monsters, and Naofumi recognizes her as the same old woman he helped earlier, and he is shocked to see her fighting so skillfully while healing. The old lady tells Naofumi not to worry and that she will protect the village, after which Naofumi leaves her and all the soldiers behind and goes toward the portal where he can find the main boss of this wave, and if he defeats that boss, the wave will be cleared. When he reaches that place, he meets Itsuki and his team who are fighting some monsters and controlling the situation below. And when Naofumi asks him where the others are, Itsuki tells him that everyone is above inside the pirate ship fighting a monster named Soul Eater, which is probably the boss of this wave. So Naofumi immediately takes Philo and Raftalia up to the top of the ship, where he sees Ren and his group fighting a skull captain, who is the pirate captain, while Motoyasu is fighting a tentacle monster, and both teams are fighting different monsters separately, which means they are not bonding or working together at all. And it feels more like they are competing to see who kills their monster first, resulting in terrible teamwork. So Naofumi jumps down and shouts at both of them, saying they are fighting like children, and that this way they will never clear the wave. When the skull captain and the tentacle monster attack again, Naofumi blocks both attacks and explains that they must work together. And then they notice that the skull captain can actually recover, because Ren had already defeated him several times, yet he kept regenerating. But Naofumi suddenly notices strange movement inside the captain's shadow and senses something is wrong. So he tells Raftalia to use lightning magic, and the moment she uses it, a bright light bursts out, causing countless Soul Eater spirits to come crawling out of the shadows, and they begin attacking the heroes with arrows, revealing the real main boss monster in front of them. Naofumi knows that normal power won't be enough to defeat it, so he decides to activate his Rage Shield. But because it is dangerous, he first asks Raftalia for permission, and she tells him not to worry and that she will stop him if he loses control. So Naofumi activates his Curse series and begins using the Rage Shield, and as his shield transforms, he suddenly sees a dragon and embodied his shield's atmosphere. The same dragon that Philo had killed, whose crystal Naofumi thing had absorbed into his shield, and because of that, he has now gained the dragon's power, unlocking his grow-up skill, which pushes the Curse series to its next level, making his power rise even more with dark flames covering his body, shocking everyone. Malty starts shouting that she had said from the beginning that Naofumi himself is a monster and that no one should trust him, but Raphtalia shuts her up. And with the grow-up series awakened, the Curse series also becomes stronger, causing Philo, who is connected to Naofumi's shield, to unlock her own rage form, making her much stronger as she attacks the Soul Eater brutally. And Raphtalia scolds the other heroes, telling them they are fools because Naofumi is fighting to save everyone while they are not helping at all, and they finally understand. When the Skull Captain and the other monsters suddenly appear behind Naofumi, Ren and Itsuki attack them, and even Motoyasu realizes his mistake and helps as well. But Naofumi sees that his upgraded rage series is making his emotions overtake him even more, so Raphtalia rushes to him and stabilizes him, calming his emotions. And Naofumi then decides to try something new by combining different skills. So he uses rage power with shield prison to trap the Soul Eater inside, and then uses another skill he acquired long ago that summons spear-like needles which hit the inside of the shield prison, causing the Soul Eater intense pain, and combining all three skills grants him a new ability, Shield Iron Maiden. And when he uses it, a massive Iron Maiden statue appears, trapping the shield ball inside. The door closes, and with a heavy crash, the Soul Eater is crushed inside and dies instantly, shocking everyone as Naofumi falls from above because of how much power he used. But he is fine. Motoyasu, feeling jealous, says that Naofumi defeated it this time, but next time he will prove himself stronger. But Philo arrives and starts yelling at him, and suddenly Naofumi senses strange energy behind him and turns to see another Soul Eater monster about to appear. But before it can fully form, countless light arrows come flying in and destroy it instantly, leaving everyone stunned as a girl appears and begins praising Naofumi, saying he truly deserves to be called the Shield Hero and that she would even love to fight him, but tells him to first check whether his slaves are strong enough to fight her slaves, which angers the other three heroes and they immediately attack her. But the woman, who introduces herself as Glass, blocks all their attacks easily and uses wind magic to blow all three heroes and their teammates off the platform, leaving only Naofumi standing. Naofumi quickly drinks a liquid to recover his strength and then traps Glass with shield prison, but she breaks it easily. And when Raphtalia and Philo attack her, she blocks their attacks too, even breaking Raphtalia's sword. And she tells Naofumi that she is waiting for him to use his rage shield because she wants to fight him at full power. Raphtalia supports Naofumi, so he activates the rage shield and attacks Glass repeatedly, but none of his attacks work. So he uses Shield Iron Maiden again and even traps Glass inside it. But she destroys the Iron Maiden just as easily and breaks free. Naofumi realizes he cannot defeat her, and Glass understands that the wave is about to end soon, meaning the portals in the sky will soon close, so she needs to kill Naofumi quickly. But when Naofumi understands this, he starts running while Glass tries her best to attack him. But he keeps dodging until the portal begins closing, so Glass retreats, saying that she will not spare him in the third wave, and when she disappears, the portals close and the wave ends. Everything becomes normal again, and Naofumi thinks about how powerful Glass is and realizes he must become much stronger or they will not survive the third wave. Raphtalia feels worried for the villagers while the wave ending causes the king to summon Naofumi to the kingdom. And when Naofumi arrives at the palace, the king tells him he has become stronger and asks how he did it. But Naofumi knows why he is asking and refuses to tell him anything unless the king kneels and apologizes, which angers the king, who orders his soldiers to surround Naofumi. But Naofumi warns him that if they make such a mistake, he will destroy the entire kingdom. And the king becomes frightened and instead threatens Raphtalia and Philo, which enrages Naofumi even more. So he gives his final warning and leaves. Outside the palace, a lady tells him that many people now know who he is, which means he will gain many enemies and must stay alert. Then Naofumi goes to the blacksmith to buy a sword for Raphtalia because her sword broke, but she refuses because they have very little money left and says she has another sword, which the blacksmith notices. Later, when they are heading toward the city where Raphtalia and Philo will get their class upgrades, Naofumi opens the letter given by the blacksmith and finds that he has left them many items. Lots of food, an invisible sword for Raphtalia which will be useful, a hair clip for Philo that increases her strength by compressing heavy force, and a device for Naofumi to attach to his shield which may help him later. As they continue traveling, they notice Melty following them, and Philo tries to convince Naofumi that Melty is not like her father and sister, but Naofumi doesn't believe it, although he stops when Melty reaches him and begs him everyone to apologize to her father and settle the conflict so there can be peace, which will also make Naofumi's life easier and give him steady money. But Naofumi refuses. Suddenly, he notices that the guards standing with Melty are positioned exactly like the day Melty betrayed him, and he realizes they are about to attack, and one soldier rushes forward with his sword ready to kill Melty, but Naofumi quickly pulls her back and blocks the attack with his shield, shocking Melty. And with that, our part 1 comes to the end. So if you enjoy this anime and want next part, so don't forget to like and subscribe and leave the comment for next episodes. But suddenly, the soldier starts screaming that the shield hero has kidnapped the princess and orders the remaining soldiers to attack. So Raftalia and Philo jump in, fighting them together while Naofumi keeps defending every strike with steady determination. And within moments, they defeat all the soldiers until suddenly their commander arrives and orders everyone to retreat. But behind the scenes, those corrupt men alter the entire footage, twisting it so it looks like Naofumi kidnapped the princess, broadcast that fake video across the kingdom, and declare them criminals, forcing Naofumi, Raftalia, and Philo to hide in the mountains to survive. And when they captured one soldier earlier, he refused to say anything but carried a mark, the symbol of the kingdom's church, which makes Naofumi realize the church is behind everything, and he wonders how many enemies he has to face at once, while Melty insists that her father, the king, has nothing to do with this, but her sister might, though Naofumi doesn't trust her words anymore and says the capital is full of snakes. And even when Melty begs him to return and talk to the king, Naofumi calls her naive and leaves. But after returning, he announces they are leaving for another country and asks Melty what she plans to do. And she says she wants to return to the capital to meet her father. So Naofumi angrily asks if she's lost her mind, since she would be killed before reaching the gates, telling her if she wants to stay alive, she must come with him, and he promises to protect her. The next day, they abandon the wagon and travel on foot through the mountains. And at night, when they stop to rest, Raftalia asks why he suddenly changed the country they were supposed to travel to. And Naofumi explains the security there had increased strangely, and the other country might be safer. And later that night, Naofumi asks Melty why he has never heard about her mother. So Melty reveals that her mother is the queen of another country and is actually superior in rank to the king who married into her royal family. And when Naofumi realizes even the king is powerless, he laughs loudly. But just then he senses a presence from the other side of the mountain. So they decide to leave. Yet as they climb up, they see soldiers already waiting for them, so Naofumi decides they should take another path. But a stone slips and Melty almost falls, saved just in time by Naofumi. But the noise alerts the soldiers, who immediately chase them, forcing the group to run until they reach a dead end. And at that moment, Itsuki appears, demanding Naofumi hand over Melty, but Naofumi says he never kidnapped her, and Ren accuses him of lying again, until Melty steps forward and saying Naofumi never kidnapped her. He actually saved her life, and everything happening is part of someone else's scheme, urging everyone to work together if they want to defeat the waves. And they almost begin believing her until Malty, the wicked sister, suddenly steps in and accuses Naofumi of using a brainwashing shield that allows him to control anyone, telling them not to trust a single word he says. And Ren, shaken, believes her lies, thinking that explains why Raftalia and Philo stay with Naofumi. And Ren demands Naofumi prove he hasn't brainwashed Melty by releasing her. But Melty panics and whispers to Naofumi that if she goes to them, she will be killed. And Malty tries to manipulate everyone again by sweet-talking Melty. But Naofumi steps ahead and declares he will protect Melty himself because he can never trust Malty. She wants the throne and will kill Melty without hesitation. And on Naofumi's command, Philo transforms and uses her air shield to escape. But Kitamura shoots a spell lock onto Philo's leg, forcing her back into human form, making everyone fall off the cliff, landing dangerously close together. Malty sees this as an opportunity and signals backup using magic, summoning the remaining heroes, while Kitamura clings to Philo creepily, saying he specially made that item so she stays in angel form forever, which disgusts everyone. Melty prepares to attack and narrowly misses Kitamura, warning that if he doesn't get away from Philo, the next hit will blow his skull. But Malty fires a massive fireball which Naofumi blocks, and Itsuki demands to know why Malty wants to kill her own sister, and Malty says Melty attacked first, and if she dies, it's her choice, continuing to bombard them with fire, drinking a magic potion and unleashing non-stop attacks which Naofumi keeps blocking. Raftalia then signals she has a plan to save Philo, so Naofumi summons the red shield to create destruction. But when he activates it, Malty commands her soldiers to rain arrows at him, which he blocks easily, while Malti starts charging a huge fireball to finish them. But Raftalia appears behind her using an invisible sword and stabs her, canceling the fireball, while Philo punches Kitamura straight in the face, knocking him away. The commander orders all soldiers to charge at Naofumi, but Naofumi's shield explodes with immense force, wiping everything out. And when the smoke settles, Naofumi looks at Ren and says, "Open your eyes. Your peanut-sized brain can't even see what's happening," throws the church's symbol at him, and walks away. Later that night, when Naofumi removes Philo's lock, they catch a spy, and Melty reveals the girl works for the queen. The spy gently says it's nice to meet him again, and Naofumi recognizes her as the girl he saw at the castle long ago, and she delivers the urgent message that he must meet the queen immediately before the situation becomes even worse. They check the map to see how far the queen is, but Raftalia suddenly smells something burning. Malti has set the entire forest on fire to smoke them out of hiding under her twisted command. The soldiers start shooting fire arrows everywhere to make the forest burn and frame the shield hero for the destruction. While far away, Naofumi and his friends watch everything, and he immediately understands this can only be the work of that wicked, sun-faced woman, telling everyone they must leave before the flames spread even more. And the next morning he buys some food, but learns escaping the country is nearly impossible because all exits have been sealed. So when he returns, he says their safest option now is to meet the queen herself, since she is the only one who can protect them. And after days of traveling, they reach a region where demi-humans live. And Melty explains the lord of this place is her friend, who might help them escape the country. Seeing Raftalia sad, Naofumi asks what's wrong, and she tells him her village is nearby, and after the waves destroyed it, the king's soldiers captured everyone and took them away as slaves when suddenly a man appears, and Naofumi and Raftalia prepare to attack him. But Melty stops them and says this is her friend, the lord of the region, and soon they reach his mansion, where Van tells them Malty has announced a huge bounty on their execution, but says they can rest there as long as they want. Yet while eating dinner, Naofumi warns they must leave early before people discover their location. Later in the room, Naofumi keeps staring out the window, afraid soldiers might surround them while they sleep. So Raftalia offers to keep watch so he can rest. But Melty is sad that Naofumi keeps ignoring her, so Philo tries to cheer her up and takes her for a walk around the mansion. Meanwhile, in the capital, the king learns Melty is still missing and orders soldiers to tear the whole kingdom apart until they find her. And after he leaves, Melty promises she will save her sister, even though she herself wants Melty dead. That night, when everyone is asleep, Melty asks Naofumi whether she, a crowned princess, must keep running like this, saying she could help people if she acted like a princess. But Naofumi answers that staying alive is the first step before she can help anyone. And then he notices Raftalia is having another terrifying nightmare, so he gently wakes her and calms her down. And in the morning, they see the king's army has arrested Van, when suddenly a maid rushes in and tells them they must flee immediately. So they start running while soldiers search the entire mansion, breaking doors and questioning the maid about Naofumi's location. But she pretends she doesn't know anything while the group hides behind a closet, and then Melty steps out and orders the soldiers to leave since she is the princess. But a disgusting-looking old man appears, Lord Rabier, and the moment Raftalia sees his face, her blood boils with rage, and she is about to attack him when Naofumi stops her. Rabia demands to know where Naofumi is, and Melty lies saying she sent him away and now wants to return to the capital to speak with the king, so she leaves with the soldiers. And once they are gone, the group searches for Philo, who is nowhere to be found, until Naofumi shouts a command that activates her slave crest, causing her pain, and they follow her scream to find her trembling in a hidden place. Philo says Melty told her to hide here, and when she realizes Melty is in danger, she panics and asks if they will just leave Melty to die. But Naofumi promises he will protect her because he already gave his word. So they head straight to Lord Rabier's estate to rescue her. And as they approach the place, Raftalia starts shaking as memories flood back of when she was held here as a slave, making her tremble uncontrollably. So Naofumi gently tells her she can stay behind if she wants, but she insists on staying by his side. Meanwhile, many demi-humans are protesting loudly at the town gates because Rabier has captured their lord. And using that distraction, Naofumi and the others enter the town riding on Philo. And inside the mansion, Rabier questions Melty again about Naofumi's location, convinced she is lying, then goes to threaten Van, who mocks him, saying if he wants to intimidate someone, he should at least grow a spine first. So Rabier punches him, and then tells Melty it would be better for her own good to speak the truth because he doesn't want to hurt her. And Melty notices he also has the church's symbol, the same sign tied to all the corruption. Outside, soldiers attack Philo, but Raftalia jumps down and defeats them, while Philo sends the last ones flying. And as she reaches the mansion, she remembers the time she was kept here inside a cage, fear squeezing her heart. And when they reach the underground passage, Naofumi sees Raftalia trembling again, but tells her to stay strong because saving Melty is more important right now. When suddenly soldiers appear, and Raftalia runs to fight them. And one soldier attacks Naofumi, but his shield's snake bites the man, poisoning him. And Naofumi says he will only give the antidote if the soldier tells Melty's location. Inside the room, Rabier was closing in on Melty when another soldier rushes in saying the shield hero is inside the mansion. And in that moment, Philo smashes through the wall, shocking Rabier, who grabs Melty like a hostage. But Naofumi uses his air shield to separate him from Melty, and then Philo grabs Rabier with all her strength. Philo delivers a powerful kick straight into Rabier's face, and seeing this, Naofumi gives the poisoned soldier the antidote, but Rabier is furious after watching everything and screams that he will make them pay with death for all their defiance. While Raftalia, overflowing with rage, keeps walking toward him silently, ignoring every attack he throws at her, moving closer and closer until she slices his whip apart, making him fall to the ground trembling in fear and begging for his life. But Raftalia tells him someone who tortured and killed her friends deserves a punishment worse than death. And hearing her voice, Rabier realizes she was one of his prisoners, and she raises her blade to finish him, but he drops to his knees again, crying and begging for mercy. And just when she is about to strike him down, Naofumi stops her, telling her killing him won't bring her friends back, and it's better for her heart to let go of the past. But Rabier suddenly takes advantage of the moment and slashes at her with his sword, only for Raftalia to catch his blade, force it to the ground, and then strike him with her mana sword, sending him stumbling backward as he slips on his own whip and falls straight out of the window. Raftalia feels guilty for taking a life, but Naofumi assures her it wasn't her fault, and Melty heals Van, after which the group heads into the underground chamber, where Raftalia and many demi-humans were once tortured, and Raftalia's past unfolds. How even after losing her parents, she kept smiling, because they taught her that no matter how terrible the situation becomes, she must keep a smile and help the people around her. So she returned to the village, encouraging everyone that they were alive and they could rebuild their home. And together, the villagers began restoring their lives until the knights arrived. They thought help had come from the capital, but instead the knights destroyed what little remained of the village and dragged every child away as a prisoner to this very place, where Raftalia at least had her friend Rifana with her, while Rabier, being a vile monster, tortured all the children for pleasure because he loved hearing their screams. Raftalia stayed strong, but Rifana's condition worsened until one day she burned with fever, begging to see the village flag again, and Raftalia promised they would return home someday, making a small flag for her and telling her to hold on. But the next day, Raftalia was taken away by the slave merchant who purchased her, and when Melty heals a survivor they find in the cell, they discover another slave inside. Raftalia recognizes him instantly as her childhood friend Keel, frees him, but he doesn't remember her until she introduces herself and reminds him how she once saved him from drowning. And Keel finally remembers her, crying with joy. Naofumi heals him too, and Keel says Rafana would have been just as happy to see the shield hero. So Raftalia rushes to Rafana's cell, only to find nothing left but her bones, still holding the little flag Raftalia had made for her. And Raftalia breaks into tears while Melty shakes in disbelief that such cruelty exists in their kingdom. And Naofumi says they must give her a proper farewell so her soul can rest. And after honoring her, they step outside, where Naofumi tells Van that the villagers came to rescue him, so he should tell them he is safe. But suddenly Rabier appears still alive, chanting a spell. Van explains that long ago past heroes sealed a monster here, and Rabier is trying to unseal it. And the moment the ritual completes, the monstrous beast bursts free, roaring that none of them will survive, and that once he kills the shield devil, he will earn God's blessing. Before rampaging through the estate, Naofumi realizes they can't defeat it here, and tells everyone to run, hiding behind a building while the monster closes in. But Philo rushes to fight it, landing a heavy kick as Naofumi activates his shield. Yet the monster keeps chasing Philo relentlessly, and Melty notices it is drawn toward Philo's dragon core. Naofumi realizes they must lure it outside the city, but worries about the slaves. So Van promises to take them under his protection and keep them safe, though Raftalia doesn't want to leave Keel behind. Keel tells her she's part of the Shield Heroes team and must go, promising he will stay safe until she returns. And before leaving, Raftalia gives him her bracelet. Then they all climb onto Philo and lead the monster outside the city, across the boundary and through the forest until they stop near a huge river. Naofumi tells everyone They must fight it here. And as the monster charges, it smashes through Naofumi's air shield easily, so Philo kicks it again, then dives beneath and strikes its stomach while Melty attacks with magic, but nothing affects it. Raphtalia slashes it too, but her blade barely scratches it, and Philo asks Naofumi for help before attacking again, but the monster only trembles slightly, even after multiple hits. And when Raphtalia approaches again, the monster stomps the ground with a single leg, shaking everything, but she keeps moving forward fearlessly while it swings its massive tail at Naofumi. Seeing everything fail, Naofumi prepares to activate his rage shield, but a mysterious voice stops him, and Melty says something has surrounded them with fog. And suddenly from the forest, many mysterious figures appear as the fog thickens, and Philolial Queen Fitoria realizes something unnatural is happening. And Naofumi tries once again to activate the rage shield, but the voice urges him to stay calm, and then a massive bird emerges from the river, landing before them with an overwhelming presence, making everyone instantly understand what she really is. The monster charges to attack, but the queen gives just one small kick that sends him flying hundreds of feet back, after which he attacks her with his flames, but it is far too weak for someone like the queen, and soon everyone else is blown away by the pressure. And in the next instant, the queen appears behind the dinosaur and finishes it in one strike. After the monster dies, the queen tells Naofumi that she wants to talk to him, and then transforms into her human-like form, telling him her name is Fitoria, and she is the queen of all Philolials. And once everyone introduces themselves, Naofumi asks what she wants to talk about. So Fitoria says they should talk in private. But before going, Naofumi wants to collect his prize. Fitoria sees he wants to upgrade his shield using the monster, and warns him that upgrading a shield with monster pieces is a bad idea because she can sense the curse power inside his shield. But Naofumi says these powers are exactly what saved him until now, and puts a small piece of the monster inside the shield, unlocking many new skills. A while later, they reach a ruined city, and Fitoria explains that the previous heroes lived here centuries ago because this place is far from everything. So Naofumi says they will rest here, and he starts cooking for everyone. But the smell spreads everywhere, and all the Philolials fall to the ground drooling, and Fitoria comes to Naofumi telling him that now is the right time to talk. She asks how he came out of the monster seal, and why he even came if he didn't know the reason. And Naofumi says she only came to check the Philolial candidate who could become the queen. So Naofumi asks why she is growing differently from others, and Fitoria explains it is because a hero is raising her. They keep talking, and Naofumi tells her he wants to cross the border because he is being discriminated there. But Fitoria says this won't solve anything and that he must go back and talk. And then she asks why heroes are not going to other kingdoms to defend waves. But Naofumi doesn't even know that waves appear outside Melromark too. Fitoria explains there are 4 countries and each should have summoned one hero to protect them from waves. And she says she doesn't care whether humans live or die. She only protects the world because the one who raised her told her to. But she also needs the help of heroes to save the world. Naofumi asks why she needs them when she is stronger, and Fitoria says she cannot defend the world alone for long without heroes. While on the other side, Ren and Itsuki discover a hidden path under the church and find a huge archive. And Malty secretly watches everything. Fitoria tells Naofumi he must make peace with the other heroes because that is the only way to save the world. But Naofumi says how can he do that when the heroes hate him from the start and always try to get rid of him? And when she sees his mind will not change, Fitoria stands and warns that if heroes do not work together, she will have to kill all of them with her own hands to save the world. Next morning, while everyone is having breakfast, Fitoria arrives and captures Melty inside a wind prison. And when Naofumi asks what she wants, she repeats that he must make peace with the other heroes. But Naofumi says no matter how many times she says it, he will not change his mind. So Fitoria says if they do not work together, she will be forced to kill them, so new cardinal heroes can be summoned. Naofumi says he will not change his mind, and tells her to let Melty go. And if she wants, she can kill him right here, but she will have to fight him first. Yet Fitoria stops his shield from activating and says if he wants her to do nothing, he must prove that he and his team are strong enough to stop the waves. So there will be a one-on-one fight between Philo and her. And if she feels Philo is strong, she will release Melty. They stand in the fighting area and Fitoria forms a barrier so no one can interfere. And Philo uses Strength Enhancer to attack, but her speed and power are too low, so Fitoria easily beats her up. Naofumi tells her not to attack blindly and wait for a chance. So Philo uses her Tornado attack on Fitoria, but she blocks it easily too, and pushes her back with a light shove. Meanwhile, Naofumi sneaks toward Melty, But Vittoria notices and hits him with an attack even his shield cannot block, making Philo scream in fear, and Vittoria tells her he tried to cheat, so this is his punishment. And she says Philo only needed to cheat because she is weak. Philo keeps getting beaten, but still stands again and again, shouting she will become stronger and never let her master get hurt again. And Naofumi shouts back, telling her not to worry about him and to just focus on the fight because he knows she can do it. Hearing this makes Vittoria pause because her own master once said the same thing to her, and then Philo's next attack breaks even Vittoria's shield and gives a light scratch to her cheek. But Philo becomes exhausted and still forces herself to stand again. Seeing this, Vittoria says she has won and frees Melty, and Naofumi also tells her she fought bravely. Vittoria fully heals her and says she has passed the trial, and that all this time, this was a test in which she could have even died if she failed. Then Vittoria places a crown on her, which is the symbol that she is Vittoria's successor, but the crown stands up like hair on her head, which Philo does not like at all. And later, the queen explains that all the people from that place had already been evacuated long ago. And then they see Lark and Teresa on another ship, and Naofumi feels it's good they are here because they are far more useful than the other heroes. But time runs out and everyone teleports straight to the location of the wave, where monsters start emerging from the portal, and soldiers drop barrel bombs into the water, whose explosions kill many sea monsters that float upward, while archers fire arrows from above. At that moment, a huge sea monster charges toward them, and when Motoyasu attacks it, the creature dives underwater and destroys a ship from below. So Naofumi jumps into the water with Philo, uses his hate shield to draw its attention, and forces it out of the water. And as soon as it surfaces, the other heroes attack together, but they cannot leave even a scratch. And then it fires an energy blast that destroys another ship. And when Raphtalia sees it, she throws a spear and injures it, showing that she has become far stronger than before. Yet another blast destroys another ship, and sea monsters begin climbing aboard. But before they can do anything, Melty knocks them down with her water attacks. And when a monster jumps up to drag her into the sea, someone tries to save her but slips, and Lark appears, kills the beast, and returns her safely to the ship. Then when more monsters rush him, he wipes them all out in one strike. Naofumi asks for Lark's help to defeat the sea monster, and jumps in with Philo. They pull it out again. Lark attacks fast and wounds it. Philo follows with a strong kick after jumping from the ship, and then Lark and Teresa combine their attacks in a deadly combo that finally defeats the monster. Just then, the useless three heroes arrive, saying all the special items from that monster belong to them. So Lark mocks them, saying their weakness is laughable, and knocks all three down with a single hit. But Philo blocks his next attack, and Naofumi asks what he is doing, and Lark calmly reveals that he and Teresa are also heroes from another world, and to save their world they must kill him. Nothing personal, just necessity. Teresa explains their world is dying, and the only way to save it is to kill him so the waves can destroy this world. And Lark challenges the shield hero to a fight, and the queen declares Lark and Teresa enemies and orders her soldiers to help the heroes. But Teresa blocks all attacks easily, and when the other heroes rush Lark, he smashes them effortlessly. Then Teresa throws fireballs at all ships and makes it rain immediately to put the flames out, telling everyone to stay out of the fight. Naofumi wonders if they truly are his enemies, while Lark tells Raphtalia and Philo to back off, but they refuse and stand by their master. And as soon as Lark strikes Naofumi's shield, they both counterattack. But Lark blocks them casually and is about to kill Raphtalia when Naofumi reaches her. His monster shield eats one of Lark's weapons, and Lark leaps back and repeatedly assaults the shield until Naofumi's shoulder gets injured. Naofumi wonders what happened when Teresa tries to burn him, but the flames vanish near him because her magic bracelet refuses to harm him. So she switches to another bracelet. Naofumi gives revival potions to the girls, and Melty arrives to support them. Lark charges again, and when he strikes the shield, a snake emerges and bites him. And when Teresa tries to help him, Melty blocks her attack, letting Philo and Raphtalia attack together. And when Lark aims at Raphtalia, Naofumi stops him with an air shield and holds him down with dog bite. But Lark jumps back only to crash into an air shield behind him, and Raphtalia reaches him and injures him. Teresa tries to help with a spell, but Naofumi blocks it, surprised that even after their best combo attack, Lark is still standing. And at that moment, another attack destroys a ship, and glass appears in front of them. She immediately rushes Naofumi, and he blocks every attack. And she strikes again, but it still isn't enough to drop him. And she says from the look of his shield, he hasn't shown his true strength yet. Shocking Lark, because this means the shield hero is far stronger than before. and for that reason, he must kill him with his own hands, and she charges again. Nafumi blocks everything until his shield transforms into its 100-layer form, surprising Glass, who steps back in fear, and Nafumi realizes they might actually defeat her. Teresa then casts a spell and throws a bomb of flames at them, but Nafumi's shield stops all the fire, and then Glass and Teresa attack together. So Nafumi summons Prison Shield inside his barrier, and Glass is shocked that even together they could only break his barrier. Confident he can beat Glass now, Nafumi tells the others to hold Lark and Teresa and jumps to another ship where Glass follows instantly, and when he asks if she is also a hero, Glass reveals she is a fan hero. Meanwhile, the others keep fighting Lark and Teresa. Melty blocks Teresa's fire. Philo and Raphtalia battle Lark, and Nafumi blocks Glass's attacks until he uses his 100-layer shield, and it starts eating her life force. Now that he knows her weakness, he tells her to surrender before the wave ends. But Glass says this fight ends only when one of them dies, and when she attacks again, the shield drains more of her life force. But Nafumi still doesn't want to kill her. Glass says that every time a wave appears, she will come with it and will keep coming until she kills him, because that is the only way to save her world. And Nafumi wonders why he is fighting so desperately to protect a world that is not even his. And he suddenly sees visions as Glass tells him waves attack her world too, and her people are waiting for her to return victorious. And then Lark gives her a potion which restores her strength, and she attacks again, sending Nafumi flying. Raphtalia jumps to his ship and blocks Glass's next strike. And when Nafumi asks why she is here, she reminds him she is his sword and will never abandon him. Glass is about to kill her when Nafumi uses Airstrike Shield to repel her and changes his shield to launch a fire attack. But she still stands up again, and the wave is about to end, so Glass prepares her final and most dangerous attack. And Nafumi activates his red shield, saying he will protect this world for the people he loves. And he is about to use blood sacrifice when a new girl from Mitsuki's party arrives, throwing wine barrels into the air, and Nafumi smashes them with his shield, and the entire ship gets drenched in wine, which strangely doesn't affect him, but makes Glass dizzy. She tries to fight again, but Lark stops her, because now they cannot defeat him. So the three of them retreat as the wave ends, and when the useless heroes wake up, the queen announces Nafumi's victory. Nafumi and his friends decide to take a break and fish near the river. And on their way back, Raphtalia asks what he plans next, and Nafumi says he will prepare for the next wave, but is unsure if he can beat them again. Later, when they board the ship to leave, the queen thanks him for fighting the wave and promises a good reward. And a few days later, when they return to Raphtalia's village, she sees the reconstruction has already begun and asks how he managed it. And Nafumi says he asked to be made the lord of this land as his reward, and Melty shows them the official letter. Then he takes Raphtalia forward and shows her the new library they are building, which is already filling up. And when they reach the rooftop, Raphtalia starts crying because someday Nafumi will return to his own world, and without him, her life will become meaningless. And she tearfully begs him to stay with her even after the waves end, explaining she knows he wanted to give her purpose before leaving, but for her, the only purpose in life is to stay with him. Hearing this, Nafumi agrees to remain in this world and says he will start a new life here and hopes Raphtalia will always remain his sword. And just when they are about to kiss, everyone arrives at once. And soon the village flag is raised, and Raphtalia's dream comes true, and Nafumi feels pure happiness watching it happen. And with that, our anime first season 1 comes to the end. So if you enjoy this anime and want next season, so don't forget to like and subscribe.